Off camera, Blayne, you were talking about ideas being in the ether, the zeitgeist, about writing something that someone else is already writing and you don't even know, they don't even know. So can you talk about the story?
I just think every idea has a moment, right? Like we're all watching the same stuff. We're all on Facebook. We're seeing the same news articles. The same sensory input is coming across our, our brains, and like you take a couple of steps as a screenwriter, you're always trying to find a hook, find a new idea, find something. And I think I think it's indefinable. I really do. But like ideas have a moment. So my story is that I had come up with this script, which was a supernatural thriller kind of thing, and it was a jumping off from the Da Vinci Code, which was very successful at the moment. And so I had this idea about like this clone of Christ idea. That was the big hook, and it's a really good script, actually. Still is. Anyways, but like this little action mystery thing. So agent flipped out, loved it, fantastic. This is a long time ago when we printed scripts. So I printed out, 50 of the scripts, and we had to pay for that. I don't know if you're aware of that. But in the smaller agencies, I had to go and print 50 scripts. So anyways, feel bad for me. So I printed these 50 scripts. I take them to my agent, I drop them off, and then I go to work at this bar. And I walk into the bar, and the bartender, who I work with, has a Hollywood Reporter on the bar. And I'm like, what's this? He's like, oh, I got hired to write a script today for this big production company, big secret idea, secret script, and I got hired for it. Fantastic, you're out of the bar business, congratulations, And I look at the article, and I think the title is interesting, and it sounds a lot like what would be the title of my movie. And I'm like, what's your movie about? And he's like, oh, this clone of Christ thing. And I didn't tell him the idea. The idea wasn't even his. He was hired to do that job. But the same day, I'm telling you, like the day that I printed this stuff out to go around town was 2 days after he closed a deal and it came out in the Hollywood Reporter. And I think it's like that all the time. You have these competing movies that are happening at the same time. We need 2 movies about volcanoes. That was a long time ago. 2 movies about, I can't think, but there's lots of movies like that. And people racing to the finish line because ideas have these moments, and they're not stolen off each other. They're each of us going our own way with the sensory input that's available, and we end up with the same conclusion.
So the moral is then, if you're going to write something, do it now.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
Hurry.
And get it out there.
The moral is you better hurry. That's
because you never talked to him about.
No, never did. And it wasn't even his idea. He applied to get this writing position that was like an open writing position. Like it was top secret, but like that's what my agent thought. He thought that I had told this guy, and I'm like, this guy just went in for a meeting, and they said, put together a pitch for this, and he did, and he got the job. I could have gotten the job probably with my script had things worked out differently. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's funny, the coincidence. And it's not really coincidence. It's like if I tell 1,000 people the same facts, somebody is going to come up with the same idea that I have.
Right, and also too, world events.
Yeah, exactly.
Shaping our mindset and what we're kind of gearing towards.
Right.
Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah. And so once you knew that, when you went home that night, what was life?
I mean,
like
that was
at the Hubble?
honestly, like, I've had, some crushing disappointments. That was probably in the top 3. It was bad because like you spend so much time on a script, and then like you give it to an agent, and the agent would be like, you have any westerns? I mean, that's normally what happens. Is like you're like, this script is hot. And they'll read it and be like, there's a movie that just sold a couple of weeks ago that's kind of this kind of tone. What else you got? Like, well, I just spent, 9 months making this for you. So, like, it's incredibly disappointing to put work into something and then have a response. The biggest criticism I've normally gotten from my agents is that my scripts are not high concept enough. Like, I like small stories. I like stories with like 4 or 5 people, and all of my movies that I've made have really been about 3 people. And, there are ancillary characters, of course, but like it's a small little world. And that's interesting to me. Like my instinct is not to go and write Independence Day, you know, where you have, you know, a general's having this and a reporter's over here and, you know, then you have characters on the other side of the world. That's not my thing. So when an agent sees money signs when they look at one of my scripts, that's a rarity and something that I'm like, oh, great, fantastic. You're happy, I'm happy. Let's, you know, go sell it. And then for the rug to be pulled out from under without the script even getting a shot, that was hard. I went to the bathroom, I got sick, I freaked out on my manager basically saying, what am I going to do? You know, and he's like, what do you mean what are you going to do? You're going to go home and you're going to start writing something else. I took a couple of days though. I had the wine the next time that I did write.
Right, and the candles. Yeah.
And the candles, yeah. I did some incense, you know, a calming kind of. You know.
A sage clearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I need to clean this.
That's awesome.